It's been a while. It's good to be back. There's been an update for King Arthur Legends Rise. We're going to talk about the update. We're going to talk about how I feel about the game. My kind of 30-day review. Is the game fun? And what can we do to make it better? We also need to talk about some problems with the game that they still currently have before going to global launch. This is, of course, another open beta, early access. They say they're not going to wipe, but I don't know. Maybe it's better if they do wipe with all the issues that we've had right now and for global release, because at global release, I want to play with everybody else. They might as well refund everyone and I think wipe the game around the time that they're going to do global release. I think that's the best thing to do. Honestly, the way the guilds work in this game, because it takes such a long time to level your guilds up, I really don't want to be stuck on some faraway server that's outside of global launch and they just take our money and say, that's you guys, you're by yourself, and then they launch global and then we're just there. We got to go to a global server and everything that we did here to help them out is lost. That would be the worst case scenario, and a lot of games do that, which is really, really sad. The update notes over on Discord talk about resolving some login issues, fixed incorrect payment logs, and payment server transaction stabilization, which I can't believe they didn't fix that sooner, right? Not being able to spend your money. I'm surprised that wasn't fixed right away. They also have some bugs here in Arena. Players can't start battles in Arena. Players can't start a battle with Sarah in the roster. Can't claim weekly contribution rewards for clans. They fixed that. Thank God, man. That's been going on forever. 100 gems and 2 advanced summons in there that I haven't been able to claim since the game came out. Crystal amount update error now reflects the addition of newly added crystals after arena battle. An issue with speed set has been resolved. See, we knew there was some issue with speed that wasn't going on properly, and I hope it's good. It's resolved now, okay? I don't know what else we can say about that. We're just gonna have to test things out, see how speed set is now. That was from Kabam Pinwheel, and then Kabam Dork came on and said, we're working on all those other issues. Fear not, we're gonna take care of all those issues. They're working steady to get those done. And I really hope they are, because uncommon heroes in the game that aren't working properly, especially one called Jack, really helps out with the game, helps out with progression in the game, especially free-to-play players, low spenders. Even myself, man, Jack would be awesome to have. Jack's passive removes those stuns, those abnormal status effects, those stuns, those freezes, anything that takes control of your hero, and he does it on like a 4-turn cooldown, something like that. And cooldowns weren't working properly. Remember, cooldowns are like a turn longer. If it says a 2-turn cooldown, it's really a 3-turn cooldown before a passive works again. So I hope they fix that as well. I mean, they know all of this. They have all of this. They've got all the information. They can do internal testing. Of course, any company can. So they know what to do. They know how to fix it. There's other major issues in the game that are really bad for the game as far as upgrading artifacts. If you want to know details about that, just go on Discord. You'll see it all on Discord. So there are some game-breaking things in the game still. And really, I feel like these uncommons that aren't working as they're written and aren't working, period, really are affecting the game as far as the enjoyment of the game, being able to take care of content and show these lesser heroes that everybody's going to have being able to take care of content. I think that's a big miss on their part, not taking care of those later, right now, right away, taking care of those. Of course, the game-breaking things, I mean, it's been broken. If you want to fix those game-breaking things later, what does it really matter, right? Take care of everything else. Take care of whatever we need to. This is another reason why I said in the beginning that I think a wipe is really needed, because I want to start fresh with everyone. The way that you level up your castle, I'm on castle level 13, and it takes like weeks and weeks to level up your castle. I don't want to start a brand new game with such an inflated castle, such an inflated guild team of 30 people right now. Then it's going to be 40 people, 50 people, and then everybody else who starts a clan when they join the game on global launch can only go to 10. I mean, that's just not going to work out. Of course, gold issues. There's been a lot of gold issues. I don't think gold is an actual issue in the game. I think it's the cost to level up your heroes, relics, and to level up their levels is the issue. I do think it should always take away all your gold when we're talking about leveling up our artifacts, leveling up our equipment, right? From 1 to 12. That should take our gold. That's where we should be like, man, I don't have enough gold to keep doing this all the time. But it shouldn't really be a huge concern, not as crazy it is in the game right now, to level up your heroes and to level up your weapons. But, you know, gold's an issue. Of course, there have been rolling events, these really simple events that give us gold and some other stuff. I've been really lax the last week. I gotta say, I really haven't been paying attention to any of the stuff the last week. I've been on autopilot, waiting to see if they're gonna update the game, waiting to see what they're gonna do with the game, because I kind of just felt a little depressed that they're not, nothing's happening, you know? I want the game to be exciting. I want the game to be fun. And first, we need to fix all the issues, and then we can get to making the game better overall, like making the game fun for people to play, making sure that when this comes out on global launch, that people are going to stick around and want to be here. So we got to take care of all these other major issues and minor issues before we can even talk about revamping some things in the game, make sure we get the damage of all heroes. Like the fun factor of the game is not there currently. It's either you play with Anguish and then you play with all the legendaries and it's fun and they're doing damage and they're doing some really cool moves. But if you try to play with anybody else, it's boring, man. Those heroes just don't do any damage. When you play turn-based gacha games, there's kind of like a median, there's a minimal line, like a line that damage is where it's at for almost all heroes. And then some heroes will do a little less than that. Some heroes will do a little bit more than that. And then some, like a few, will do way more than that. There'll be those meta outlying heroes that just do crazy damage in different areas of the game. What we have right now are heroes like Anguish and legendary heroes that do really good damage. And then we have all these other rare heroes and uncommons heroes that just don't do any damage, that are just way down. And some people are saying that damage isn't calculated in the game properly, or at least that's what their feeling is. The heroes that do damage based off of speed aren't working properly. The ones that do damage based off of HP, if you load them up with a whole bunch of attack, they'll do more damage than if you load them up with whatever they're supposed to be doing damage off of. So we need to bring all those heroes up. We really need to make the game fun and to make it diverse so that we can level up a lot of heroes just to have fun with it. I'm all about leveling up tons of heroes to use in different areas of the game, to have other options instead of best in slot. What about second or third in slot? Like what other options do we have for the game? Right now, we really don't. I mean, that's it. You got Anguish, you got the legendaries, then you got all these other guys that just like hit like wet noodles. They're just in there to do maybe some kind of debuff, and then you're just sad you even have to level them up and use them. It shouldn't be that way. It should be something that you level them up and you still know you're gonna do damage. You still know you're gonna have fun with that hero, and I think that's really lacking now that I've been playing the game for as long as I have. I know they're going to bring in other content into the game too that's going to spice things up. It's going to make it fun, but if you bring in other content and my guys, like all the heroes, are still doing the same damage they're doing, it's not going to be exciting. It's going to be sad. You're going to be using those same heroes all the time. And I'm not saying that I don't use the same heroes all the time in other games as well, but I do know in those other games that I've played for years and years and years that I've had fun playing other heroes in place of those meta heroes. They still do work. They still can work for content. And here it's just, it's sad. It's really sad. So I hope they get all the stuff worked out. I hope they make it to a stable game, and then we can work on making the game better. In one of my previous videos, I also talked about the dungeons. If you look at the dungeons here, these first advancement dungeons to level up your heroes are completely backwards than any other turn-based game. The Burning Land and the Frozen Plains are there and made in such a way that they're like gear farming dungeons. They're not advancement dungeons to make your heroes stronger so you can go through story mode, so you can branch off and do everything else in the game. They are dungeons made for specific heroes, made to be very difficult with a lot of mechanics. Just the Burning Lands, Gorgos, and whatever that bear is called, just those two. And then if you go over to the dragon, like the dragons are the one that should be the advancement dungeon. The only thing you need for the first dragon is to have somebody apply mark on the dragon. That's it. Like straightforward, basic. Everybody gets that. You come in here, you're like, okay, I need to get some of those orbs to rank up my heroes. I go to the dragon, I've got mark, and that's it. You just apply mark on the dragon, you beat it down. The second dragon, it's good to go in there with shields, because if you have a shield up and it does damage, it gets like accuracy down. Simple. You don't need anything else. Like nothing specific else to bring in there. So those should be the advancement in the relic advancement dungeon. That's the way it's done in all other games, so you can progress through story mode, so you can get stronger, so you don't get stuck. But in this game, people get stuck because Burning Lands and Frozen Plains are built to be gear farming dungeons. They're built to have specific heroes. They're built really well. They're built fun, but they're not in the proper place for advancing. They're not supposed to be there to advance your heroes. That is not the way games are designed. It's just really backwards, and it throws people off in a bad way. Not even just throws them off, it turns them off. It makes them want to leave the game because they get stuck. They don't have the right heroes, because you have to have specific heroes to do it. They don't get those heroes, and then they get stuck at like level 40, level 50. They cannot progress any higher until they get those heroes. And that is a bad game design. Whereas, like I said, for these dragons, super easy. You come over here and you can get shields by taking arena and taking your arena tokens that are really easy to get and put them on Hector and have a shield guy right away, no problem. Then you come over here and preferably you'd give somebody a mark hero. And some of the mark heroes, like the shark, isn't working properly. His second ability, where it says that he takes away all marks and gives everybody a heal like he used to do in the previous beta, isn't taking them away, isn't giving a heal. So I don't know. It's kind of, like I said, there's things in the game that I've been depressed about. I haven't wanted to do much in the game because things aren't working. And I'm hoping they're going to get fixed. I'm hoping they're going to be ready. And I'm hoping the game gets more exciting. We'll see. That's all I've got right now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to be covering a few other games as well, just because I'm playing other games to have some fun. So I'm going to cover those games and start spitting out videos. So stay tuned. I'll see you guys soon.